viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode on this untitled YouTube channel. Damn. People, have you noticed that the borders have systematically disappeared? Have you noticed that the police are getting less and less power or powers? Have you noticed that the NPA is getting weakened? Have you noticed that the justice system is almost failing to work at a certain level and only seems to work at the most bottom and basic levels when it comes to prosecuting you and I, but not high ranking individuals? Have you noticed how the army basically is non existent? Have you noticed how the defense of the country is virtually vanished? All this, all this is happening. And no one is raising an eyebrow or batting an eyelid as to wonder why, what could it possibly be, who's behind it. So I did a little digging, because my digging that I do is not conventional digging. My digging is simple: one, two, three, anything that surfaces up, wow, that's it. I'm running with that, right? True or false, I'm running with it. Do you know why? It's because any little spot where there's smoke, there's fire. Or where there's smoke, there's a braai, or a barbecue, or a cookout, whatever you call it. In South Africa, a braai is a cookout. A braai is a barbecue, or something close to that. Right. That's what it is in South Africa. I don't know whatever you call it in whatever part of the world you come from, but in South Africa, that's what we call it. So here's my thing. Here's my theory, right? South Africa used to be the most defended, protected country on the African continent. But here's the thing: criminal elements have now infiltrated government and security clusters, right? Meaning, when you see the borders becoming porous, right? And you see the police becoming ineffective, and you see the walks, the once feared walks, becoming something of a stagnant, almost invisible, almost crippled institution. And you see judges reluctant to prosecute, but more, you see judges coming out with more and more verdicts of not enough evidence beyond reasonable doubt, even though there is more than enough evidence to put the person away. But the judge handling the case comes down to a ruling and says, no proof, not enough evidence to convince a judge or jury. People, what does this now mean? It's simple. From the top, I am talking of the top echelons of the government. I am talking the government. The systematic breakdown of the borders has been because of the criminal element within the ruling government. Guys, the reason why our borders are being porous is because the criminal element has now infiltrated the government, so they need their products to come into the country. Why do you think why do you think there's an influx of drugs from South America all of a sudden? Why? Have you noticed the amount of drugs that are coming into South Africa? Just the number, the staggering value of the drugs that are coming in from South America. Guys, we're talking of 200 million in the hundreds of millions possible billions of drugs coming into South Africa. Imagine one shipment of 800 and something million. Imagine another shipment of 500 million. Imagine a shipment of a street value of almost close to a billion. People, this is not normal. Now, who's in it? We all know that the governments and these high profile people have these expensive lifestyles, and the day to day jobs cannot fund those lifestyles, right? All these high profile killings, all these high profile allegations. What do you think it all comes down to? It's the other life that these people are living. And what is that other life? It's the drug trade. If it's not the drug trade, it's money laundering. If it's not money laundering, then it's definitely some sort of underground shady business. People, this is shocking to say, but this is as real can be, right? The criminal element that has now partnered with top government officials have systematically broken down the defenses and the security of the country. Now, here's the thing: we have top top police investigators. We have top um, criminal networks, and we have top internationally renowned organizations, all operating within South Africa, all operating under one syndicate in collusion with each other. Right? They're colluding, right? Now listen to this. Isn't it shocking to you that record labels, known record labels, like South Africa's, I don't know, South African owned record labels, not even like the international ones like the Sony's or Universal. Nah, if you're into music, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about South African owned record labels that are funded by government, right? Funded by government. I mean, you're going to say to me, how does this get funded by government? Okay, people, when politically exposed people start record labels, where does that money come from? That money can only come from two sources. One, from tenders, and two, from illicit drug or illicit activity. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of the underworld dealings, like in the nightclubs and all that, it all has to do with the nightlife and what is involved in the nightlife. It's illicit activity. Government officials are part of that. Musicians are part of that. So it's surprising to me that when certain crimes happening in South Africa, have you noticed that celebrities don't speak about it? Isn't that weird to you that some celebrities, well known celebrities, don't say a word? Do you know why? Because they're getting funding from the government. And what is the government doing? Illegal activity, tender fraud, drug related issues, and this money is getting funneled to the artists. How? Through money laundering. How? Through events. How? Through performances. Who? The record labels are being paid. Event organizers are being paid. Guys, these people need to clean dirty money. And that's how they're doing it. Now, let's go back to the border and security issues. Let's say you are a big drug lord, right? You had connections or friends, or you were probably in the struggle, right? Your comrades are now ruling the country. You call in a favor, like, dude, I have a shipment of a ton coming in. You know, I need you to clear the way. Sure as hell, the way's cleared for you. I mean, guys, are we becoming a narco state? I mean, every second, third, fourth day, there's always someone in the dock for some sort of drug related, money laundering related scheme. If it's not in Joburg, it's in Cape Town. Not in Cape Town, it's in Durban. Not in Durban, it's in Bloemfontein. Not Bloemfontein, it's in Port Elizabeth. Or in Limpopo. It's somewhere. There's always people politically connected who are doing massive deals, big illicit deals. And all these deals are happening because of high-ranking officials in the security cluster allowing the way and the facilitation of these transactions to go through and the product to go through. Guys, how it's astounding how people who have political connections, who can see. I mean, guys, okay, just think about it. A politically exposed person, right? Politically exposed person brings in drugs to the value of 200 million, for example, right? 200 million. That 200 million shipment gets stolen. Guys, police make a bust. They arrest. They get a consignment of 200. They take that into police custody. Put it into, I don't know, the police warehouse or the lockup, whatever you call it, in the safety room and the locker, whatever they call it, right? Police then steal that 200 million worth of cocaine and go and give it back to the owners. How the freak does that even happen, man? I mean, South Africa is a movie. At this point, I don't think we even need Netflix subscriptions. If I have to bet my bottom dollar, if South African TikTok, right? If South African TikTok was a JSE listed company, or even just a listed company, I can guarantee that South African TikTok costs more, or not costs more, is what's the word? Yeah, it costs more, right? It costs more, it's worth more than Netflix. Combined, bruh. That dude, South Africa is a movie. Every single day, every hour, there's something somewhere happening. That is how dope South Africa is. I mean, guys, we are on another level. I I mean, guys, yes, corruption happens in every country. I totally understand that. Totally, I do. I do. I don't mind government stealing because that's become normalized. It's just normal for governments to steal. Even in America, they're stealing money everywhere. UK, Germany, they're all stealing. Russia, they all steal. I mean, Putin is regarded as the richest man alive, and that can't come because of honest hard work. They can come only through fraudulent activity involved in his honest hard work too. Understand what I'm saying? There's just no way that Putin doesn't have a 9 to 5 job, so how can he become the richest person in the world? But yeah, he is. I mean, officially, it's Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. But everybody in the politically exposed world really knows that the real richest person in the world is Putin, and that's an undisputed fact. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I digress from that, right? I told you, politically exposed people and what they do, right? So people, the country security system is being peeled away, slowly being weakened, so that the rich underworld people working with these security clusters and top high ranking political officials can allow their dirty products and illicit activities to come through the border crossings and to the seaports. That is why we're seeing a spike in all these huge drug busts and people. Things are bad. Things are so bad, guys. Not only that, ever notice that South Africa has a police force of about 200,000, but the private security has over 2 million members. Isn't that something to think about as well? And what's driving that? See, people, there's a lot of things happening in South Africa, and we need to be aware, we need to see, we need to hear. And the funny thing is that we need to be very, very vigilant that our friends, family members, loved ones are not part and parcel of this. Because the real thing comes down to someone we know is involved in these things. And the best thing that we do is to keep quiet about it, which means we too are complicit in it. Now, we may not expose names of the people, but at least we need to highlight the issues involving the people that we know and what they're doing. We may not call out names, but we can call out areas, specific locations of where certain people are operating. I mean, it's sad,